Hello everybody, we're going to look at Puma Punku, and I'm just getting angry looking at these pictures because I'm looking at Puma Punku and there is so much going on here which no one has seen before or no one has mentioned before, and I'm just wondering what's going on with this because firstly, this is obviously ancient, super high technology. This is so incredibly ancient. This is at least 80,000 years old. It was a type of research facility. That's absolutely obvious. And it's been modified. And you can see how it's been modified, but we don't know when it was modified. Look at these things here. These are joins which are celebrated. When I was a child, I saw them on TV saying, oh, look at these high-tech joins. And I always thought to myself, well, one, what's high-tech about this? And two, how is that going to stop these huge rocks from splitting? They're not moving anyway. And three, why would you bother? You can't even push the rocks back together anyway if they break apart. So what's going on here? And I suppose the answer is this was all one rock which was broken up in an ancient cataclysm, and you can actually see here, look, the grain is all the same, if that is the grain or whatever is going on here. I personally think it's a type of geopolymer. It was laid all at once. Here it's splitting absolutely. Look how ridiculous this is. It's splitting absolutely, level here. There's something going on. It's like layered on top of each other and then annealed somehow, or something like this. I don't think it was dragged here. And there's something weird going on. I think that ancient people may have come across this whole slab and they may have thought they needed to join them up. Or this was done actually in modern times by archaeologists in the 18th or 19th centuries, because this building had a use which has been lost to history. And I think that because in a book by Eric von Daniken, he actually mentions this, and he talks about an archaeologist, Alcide de Orbigny, who stated that he saw at Puma Punku one of the main platforms, which is now divided into three, was one piece over 40 meters long, 7 meters wide, buried to an unknown depth, with the volume of an 11-story house. Now that's a 19th century Swiss traveller he's referring to. I'm not sure if this is the stone. I've been unable to locate this stone, and if you look on Google, it'll just tell you that the biggest stone is, I think, 7 feet or something like that. And they don't talk about this, but this was one slab, one geopolymer slab. And the whole site just stinks to high heaven. It really does. It just stinks because there have been so many modifications. This whole area, together with parts of Tiwanaku, look nothing like the rest of the Peruvian world. And in fact, the Inca said that the people responsible for the creation of the earth built this. So, in other words, this is before their flood and the great catastrophe of 12,000 years ago. And these don't make any sense. I think this was all broken apart in a catastrophe or a bombardment or something, and some later people thought they needed to add this. The people who built this didn't do these joins. No way. That was done later on, and no one's ever mentioned that. Again, this thing here stinks to high heaven. Can you see why? Well, the people who built this sure as hell didn't carve that. That was done later. This must have been an ancient logo here, and they carved all this Stone Age stuff into here. This is all Viracocha sun god stuff, and the Viracochas took over this area. I think this is all 80,000 years old, and the key thing is that stones, I think they get recycled over time, recycled again and again and again, and they've turned this ancient research facility into a temple. This is not very, to be honest, I've seen this up close. I haven't been to the site, but just seen pictures, and it's not that well done, to be honest. It's all hand done. Like, that's not hand done, okay. And again, there's lots of things that leave you wondering. These carvings here, look, that one's done well, that one's done not so well. I have a feeling many of these religious-like crosses are done in later times by people who were a bit different to the original builders. I don't think it was done all at once, that's for sure. That is original. That's all original stuff, I think. You just look for the quality of technology and you can compare, and I think that's just the way to do it, really. Because this looks like nothing in the Peruvian world. And we've even got different mixes, so different coloured rocks from different eras. The blue stuff, I think, is especially old. The blue stuff you also see at Stonehenge and other sites. Just unbelievable, I mean. The whole site is an ancient mountain research facility. This is a decontamination pool. I'd love to see it up close. I believe these are not really staircases. They're a bit too small. So the workers, when they were arriving for work, would have walked through here. Again, this is this huge block. I'm sure it must be some kind of geopolymer or something. Yeah, measuring it. Just unbelievable. These are how short were these people? These are tiny steps. Were they 4 foot tall? I don't know what's going on. It's just and look, this is totally different. Even this is ancient high technology, but this is a totally different people. This was done after one of the catastrophes by the survivors. A type of weird architecture. And do you notice something? That's the 7th door, allegedly, at the Pandaswami temple. Do you see what's going on? It's built by the same worldwide super civilization 80,000 years ago. It's got these vents on the bottom, or on either side of the door for a type of join. Or are these a type of vent? What do these look like? Do they go inside? Do they go up there? It's all a bit weird. And these would be ancient skyscrapers. These are the design of ancient towers, possibly from 80,000 years ago. And the funny thing is, they look like those towers in Malaysia, you know, which is rather interesting. I think this is a totally bizarre site. It's unique, except for a few things that you see around the world. This is proof positive of the lost super civilization. I'm sure of it. It must be. Because who else would build this? Stone Age people aren't going to build this. It's not going to happen. Look, this is after one of the catastrophes. The survivors put this together to protect themselves. To protect themselves, basically. And this site might have been destroyed by high weapons as well. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching that. That was a different sort of video because that whole place, Puma Punku, it stinks of ancient high technology which has been tampered with many times over. That is tampering. That's not original. That is tampering. Anyway, guys, thank you so much.